What's up everyone, this is Kenny here from Property Stories, and today I'm actually going to take you to a site visit. I'm actually in Bukit Beruntung, Rawang, and we're going to check out this shop lot, and I'm going to show you some pointers of why this place especially cannot rent, and what the banks actually will look for, especially when you talk about want to invest in commercial properties. Uh, Before that, I want to say that I'm not a commercial properties expert. I don't own any commercial properties. But from my experience, right, as a banker, I used to go and finance commercial properties, and the banks will send people like me to go and inspect. So today I'm going to show you what we need to do, why we take more photos, and some of the things that we actually need from you as an owner to put a valuation out there. Okay, so let's go. Every commercial properties, right, the banks will ask bankers to come in for site visit because they need photos. Why they need photos? Because you look at this shop lot. Door also don't have. Huh? So messy inside, everything so messy. How to finance? One more thing is that we ask, right, the property type. Why we ask the property type? You see this, these two, the owner only owns first and second, ground floor and first floor. This is a shop. This third and fourth, this is a residential. So this type of property is known as shop apartment. There's another type of property in the S&P will write shop office. So shop office on top here is not for residential. It's for people to do business. You rent out as offices, okay? You look at the condition. Let me just zoom in for you. Look at the condition of these places. How to value, okay? That is why sometimes, right, when you send for loans, right, banks will mark a location as a non-target location. This is what it means by non-target location in banking. Because the banks are always looking at places where there's high occupancy rate, especially commercial. So how they count the occupancy rate? We talk about this row of shop lots. Okay, can you see how many is occupied? Okay, one here and the other one at the end. I'm just giving you an example. So let's just say this whole development here has 40 lots, and only 1 and 2 is occupied. 2 is that one is a car workshop, if I'm not mistaken. So 2 out of 40 is, if you divide, is 1 over 20, right? 1 over 20 is how much? Okay, 1 over 20 is about 5%. Of course, I'm giving you an example, so I didn't count that one. These are all occupied. So occupancy rate, right, for the bank to finance must be minimum 70%. Okay, 70%. This one, the valuers, we have to ask the valuers before actually the banks even decide financing. Okay, sometimes the bank will reject just based on this criteria alone. The criteria cannot even auction out. Nobody wants to buy. Why the bank wants to take as a financing, correct? This occupancy rate, right, is valuer will provide verbal. So how they provide is sometimes they did a valuation report for that area, for that particular area, so that they roughly estimate the occupancy rate. Sometimes they just get the report from looking at their research, their own research. Okay, and this occupancy rate, all this remember, it's all verbal. The valuation even is verbal. So we need to send to the HQ. HQ sometimes will straight away reject, and then they put non-target property. We don't know, the bankers, we don't know what is going on in credit. So credit can just say, oh, today Bukit Beruntung is non-target. They don't have to tell you reason, they just straight away reject the case. So that's why sometimes you will hear your banker say, hey, that place, sorry, we don't finance. These are the reasons. Occupancy rate, the low occupancy rate is the biggest reason why sometimes the banks don't finance. And then this area, Bukit Beruntung, actually a lot of banks also don't finance. Now you know why. Okay? When the property is not occupied, you will get things like this. You will get conditions like this. No window, no door, things are missing. So dilapidated. Sometimes is the area for drug addicts, this kind of things. So that's why when you actually have a property, you don't leave it too long, because things other than cannot see one can see one also will come in. So usually what to do with this kind of commercial property, let's just say you already bought, what to do? Most of the time, right, you see it's used as a storage space. I did a case before. The customer bought a factory, old factory, 1.5 story factory, to store oil, because she do the second-hand oil business where she clean the oil. She clean the oil and then she need a place to store engine oil or what, I can't remember what kind of oil but that is one way you can actually utilize the space. At least you got some rental, okay? At least you got some money coming in, then rather you leave it empty. The same goes if you have bought a residential property and now you find it's very hard to get rental because of location or because of whatever it is. You at least get some rental money lah. But for residential, right, I would say the challenge is even harder lah. If you have this kind of places, there's too many options they can move out. Imagine if you're staying in these kind of places, maybe too much options you can move out. And why these kind of places, right? Why until now they still have not much people moving in? Because there's no economic activities, and it's further, very far from the place where you have economic activity. From where I'm studying, this part of Bukit Beruntung is called Prima Beruntung. If you look at the maps, it's called Prima Beruntung. It's about, bro, the time just now was 15 minutes from the main road, right? For the Adenium, 15 minutes. Yeah, it's 15 minutes from the main road, no. And this place is constructed like what, 20 years ago? 20 plus years ago, still like that. So you want to buy property, commercial property, can you stand 20 plus years people don't rent your place? This is something you really need to consider. That's why back then it was cheap. So that's why sometimes when you see anything that's cheap doesn't mean it's good. Okay, the cheap can be a value trap. What does it mean by value trap? Okay, they sell you cheap, right? Because it's very hard to exceed. So let's take a look at the area itself, why this place might be very hard to rent or very hard to sell for a longer time. Okay, I think by just now I mentioned it's about 15 minutes from Adenium, which is the main road. You also know it's very, very deep inside, so you don't want something that's very deep inside. That's why shop lot that is facing the main road command a higher premium in rental and also price because of their visibility. When you buy commercial properties, you want it to be visible. That's the first thing. Okay, that is why at mature areas people are willing to pay more, even though yes, the rental doesn't make sense and sure lose money one, but people is willing to pay more for the capital appreciation and also the footfall. They know the catchment area, they have the footfall, they know the area is mature, that's why they're willing to pay more. So now I'm going to take you around to see this area, and as we go around I'm going to point out some things I hope that you get some pointers from this, from a bank's point of view and also a property investor point of view. Okay, so you come around down the road, right? There's a 99 Speed Mart, and also there's a laundry here, but this is the negative factor. You see this 99 Speed Mart, right opposite is a sewage tank. It's a negative factor, and that is one more negative factor, the TNB road. Got cat? Okay. So this is how when you go in the shop lot, right, the bankers sometimes will take the interior of the shop lot. And sometimes when you send for valuation, when you take the interior, that is why the bank insists on having someone to come and take photo. Okay, they want to know whether the place is occupied or not. They want to know whether it's occupied or not, or whether you're trying to fraud the bank. That is the reason why the bankers actually will conduct site visits, especially when it comes to financing a commercial property. Sometimes you might face this kind of problem. This is illegal. I suspect it's illegal squatting. But well, you abandon the place too long, you can have this kind of problem. If you got an empty shop, you might want to lock this part here so that people don't simply go and throw rubbish inside. Of course, don't lock all lah. You got 2 is for letters, the letters important letters cannot reach you. We have just finished talking to one of the shops here, and the shops here is doing wholesale, so they don't expect things walk in lah. Okay, so wholesalers and also the places here you can actually use for employees hostel. Apparently there's somewhere here there's a hostel, employees hostel. They sign a 5-year contract with a big supermarket to take care of their warehouse. So these are the things that you don't need visibility. So expect a lower rent. However, to get this kind of leads, right, you have to come to site visit. Property investing is not hands off. You buy a property, immediately you expect the rental to come in. There's no such thing. Sometimes you have to go down. Not sometimes. I highly encourage every one of you to just go down to the site and make sure you understand the area well. Okay? So now we are gonna go around and see and chase the leads. We're gonna go and talk to the leads and see whether they want to rent the place or not. This is what you as the owner supposed to do. When you don't just 100% everything depend on agent. Okay? Your property, you are paying the loan, not the agent. So for a commercial property to be successful, you need these residential components, right? So now they are open for sale. This is a residential. You're going to finish soon. You look at this and you abandon the place. This is the 1-story shop lot that's behind just now the shop lot that we saw. Look at this place. This kind of abandoned place, right? It may, like I mentioned just now, it may just be a place for squatting and worse, drug den. Okay. So when you see a township, whenever you see a township, or you buy a service apartment, right, you will see they launch and sell the residential component first, and then only sell the commercial, because they need people to come in here first. Then only the commercial can survive, okay? So this is a crucial component when you look at when you are looking to invest in any commercial properties. Is there enough footfall to support the demand of the business? If the business is not earning money, how they can pay you rent, right? Sometimes, right, when you say banks don't want to finance low cost apartments, is because of this. You see, when you abandon the place for too long, you see this, the window also don't have nobody stay. How do you value this? This is obviously a non-target property for the bank. That's why sometimes when you go to the bank, you want to buy these low cost properties from auction, right? The bank auction, even the same bank that auction, they don't want to take it back. Even you want to go back for financing. There's a reason for that. You see this facade. It is obviously not well maintained at all. You don't know what's the occupancy rate. No people staying. That's why it's cheap. Sometimes things, again, like I mentioned, is cheap for a reason. So be careful. Okay. So as we were going around that place, that Bukit Beruntung shop lots, that we found another group of people we can talk to. Actually, they are working around there, and they are actually contractors of the landed property that's going to be completed in October. So from speaking to them, we found out that that place is booming, growing around, slowly booming actually. It's been 20 years of date and slowly booming. Why? Because from that place go to UMW High Value Manufacturing Park. It's about 15 minutes. So people can actually stay there and actually drive to that place without going through the main road. The main road that we saw just now was Jalan the Adenium part, Adenium, where that is the main road. From the highway you come down, that is the main road into the Rawang town. Okay, so that Adenium is the main road part, and you go in is Bukit Beruntung. But right now from Bukit Beruntung, if you are staying nearby there, you don't have to go out all the way to Adenium to reach your workplace. So more people will be moving in that area. Hopefully you can get tenant. And so this emphasizes the importance of just talking to people, especially when you're doing your own marketing for your own property. Their property was a shop lot. And now one more thing, that we got another lead also. This lead is actually another owner of that he or she owns a few units down there. So we got the owner's lead from one of the tenants there. Then I suggested to my friend to give the owner a call. Why to give the owner a call? Is to tell that he is also the owner, so that we can talk to the owner, say that if let's just say you found the tenant doesn't want your unit for any reason, could you pass over? Then you must be thinking, why the heck someone would want to pass over money to you? Remember, you are in a commercial area. If the business cannot sustain, as I mentioned so many times, they will not be paying you rent. They will just break the tenancy. Why I suggested for him to go and call is because in the commercial area, you want it to fill up as fast as possible. Okay, you want it to fill up as fast as possible so that you can attract more and more people. Imagine today you want to open a shop, you go and see the commercial area, something that is empty and something that is already filled up, right? You help each other fill up. Which one you will go for? You will go something that is already filling up, right? That is how people can collaborate to actually bring up that area, the commercial area. Remember, people that can rent commercial properties or wants to rent commercial properties, is the numbers are always smaller than those who wants to rent for stay. Okay, so having said that, they also have a lot other factors that they don't need. People who want to stay don't really need, because they got so much option. People who stay got so much option, and people who stay, I understand now, because you also don't bother lah. You got your own job work to do, right? Why? Most likely you meet another agent. It's not the owner. But in commercial properties, sometimes you get to know your neighbor. This is what you can do. You can help each other to grow up the area. Okay. So I think that's it for the lessons I want to share. My own site visit and how I see things. I hope it helps whoever that is out there that is struggling to rent out your unit. This is actually a commercial property, but I think the principles are still, fundamentals are still there. What you need to talk to people, you still need to know people. In the people here, in this case, you might have to deal with 20 agents, and then getting frustrated by dealing with agents. These are all part and parcel of property investing. Okay, you cannot run. No matter what people say about digital, yes, it will help, but at the end of the day, you still want to see that property before you decide to rent. Alright, people will still want to see that property before they decide to rent or buy. That is normal. Okay, so that's it for now. This is Kenny here from Property Stories. Bye bye.